approval. Giving them a round of applause. Mike, come here, Mike. No, you stay. I come to you. Check. Come on. Give us a quick assessment of no approval.
I just saw my son, my baby boy, decided he wanted to do around community. He always had visions doing different things. So we came up with this clothing line called No Food. And we extended it out to all kind of things. So we're gonna host shows, host events and things like that. But it's really our clothing line. I think we got started with.
Give Mike another thing. Without further ado, I tell you what, again, I made mention that we have a lot of legends in the room, and I tell you what, we are very pleased and proud and privileged to have not only an Olympic gold medalist, a two-time national champion. Say your name. She's the head coach of FAMU, Florida A&M University. Ready? Miss Bridget. So no, I want you to come right here. Because I want to hear you versus that. You ready? All right, here we go.
I don't have no lips on. Good evening. I'm Angela Verdejo, General Sales Manager at Davis Broadcasting. I am here in support of Danita Gibson and Mike Woods, Girls Inc. On this incredible music. I'm excited to have all of these celebrities here in Columbus, Georgia. Okay, and also salute girls for the great work that they're doing and hearing our girls. And it's also great. They see this community. Okay. It's just good once I got to Tennessee. But all my young people. I can see it. So what I did was all the people that said what I could do, I showed them what I could do. I showed them what I could do. And what that mean was, ladies and gentlemen, you see the diamonds sparkling. I put my cap on so you can see that. But what you didn't see is that I showed up before practice and I was there after practice. And I was there in between practice. Everybody understand what I'm saying? So when he wasn't looking or when she wasn't looking, I was still working. Right? So success doesn't happen. You don't just pick up the basketball and become a champion. You got to dream, you got to eat it, you got to sleep it, you got to work it, and you got to do it all over again. It is not a one-hit wonder. It just doesn't happen like that. You wish it does, and it could. And it took a village. That's right. And I got to go back and say, I'm so grateful. I wanted every number that I played in. Every number. From mini basketball to high school. Chester can tell you about, they was more excited to watch the girls basketball than the boys. The boys, because the crowd was coming to see the ladies play. But one thing that I can tell you that I have not allowed success to get to my head. I'm still humble. I'm still grateful. And the same rules that I live by, I apply now to the system that I'm at Florida A&M. Because when I'm recruiting you ladies, guess what? It ain't about can you put the ball in the basket. It's about your character. You gotta have a GPA first of all. Your attitude. Dude, when the coach take you out and you rolling your eyes. And I'm gonna take it a little bit further. I'm talking to your mom because the way you talk to her, you think you're gonna talk to me, but no, ma'am. It's not happening at my house. I don't play the note. Because I live by three things: respect, discipline, and gratefulness. Because we all know we living in a time. Some of us thinking you want to keep the window up or roll it down because the gas too high, right? Tell the truth. It just is what it is. So what I've done, like I said, so blessed. My career has taken me places that I never knew that I could go. As a little girl, the biggest honor that I thought I could achieve was being an Olympian. Not a gold medalist, but just being an Olympian. I did not know about basketball professional And to be honest, I didn't care. I was a softball player. Okay. Serious. But softball can give you a scholarship to further my education. And I wanted to be the first of my native Jamaican father children to receive a degree. So I had goals. I set goals. It wasn't easy. I cried many nights as a little girl because I forgot to tell you that part. I hate losing more than I love winning. Let me rewind that. I hate losing more than I love winning. Winning don't do nothing for me, but when we lose, boy, look at him. Beat the air. And my mama knew that. Not bad sportsmanship. I just went home and cried because I knew I could be better. And if you look around the room, we all can be better at giving something for a cause that means so much. I'm at a program and I was just talking to my rap. They know where they at. The boy, when I ain't with it, they like, who both should have ran this play? Why you ain't do this or why you do that? But I got to tell people is that, okay, I can handle that. I forgot to tell you my name, Coach Pressure. I put pressure on you. No matter what I'm doing, I'm pressure. Coach Pressure. So I go back and I say, well, don't talk about somebody, boy, that's somebody's child. If you don't like what they're doing, come see me, I'm on. Because I tell them, don't act out. Because people are cruel. The world is good because God made the world, but people are cruel, right? They might be glad I ain't have social outcomes. I might have a case, just to be honest. But it's a cruel world. And we just left May, and I'm touching a lot of areas because I knew my time is short. We just left May, and it's mental health. And mental health is real. Did I tell you that? You need to hear it. Mental health is real. And if you hear or you see something, say something. You have to speak up. Do not be embarrassed. It's not shameful. Shamika Holdclaw just got on national television and thanked Sandy Rundell for looking out for her. Shamika Holdclaw came out and I was the first at the University of Tennessee. But she was a great player, and she publicly told Sandy, "Thank you," when I cried out that I needed help. And she said, I need to go see a psychiatrist. And the league said I wasn't going to pay for it. Sandy said I would pay for it out of my own pocket. So we was like, no, 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 no. I have money. But it was the point that the coach recognized that she needed help because she cared. And in order to make this world a better place, because Chester knows him and I go way back, Mike, and a lot of people, I've been knowing, y'all hear I say Mike, I'm just as country as you get back. But Mike Woods, ever since I was at Georgia State back in 2007, they know the struggle, and it's real. But when you can support each other, no matter if he's in Alabama now and I'm at family, we can compete together, but we still can get off the court and still have a good time. And ladies, we're born with a jealousy spirit. I tell my team, you, this is sisterhood. Why are you jealous of your sister? One team, one goal, one night. One team, one goal, one night. I tell my ladies, you might not go pro in basketball, but you're going pro in something. So when you look to your left and you look to the right, that might be the doctor, that might be the nurse practitioner, right? That might be the school teacher that's going to teach your daughter. You don't know who you entertaining. But then I got a sisterhood that one day when I can pick up the phone and say, hey, can you help me, my sister? Because you know that we're a part of a sisterhood now. And we didn't know it, but we can talk about it like it was just yesterday. Or I can talk to my lady long sister that I might not heard from in a year, but we can still pick up and go, girl, you remember that time someone had us running in the rain, say, go put on your rain jacket. And I called my mom and she said, Mom, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. She said, what you mean? I said, yeah. The track team came in off the track and it was raining. Somebody told me to go put on my jacket and run in the rain. Can I come home? Click, read your Bible. Coming home, not awesome. So what I'm telling you, parents, like I said, I'm moving around. It's okay if they fail. That's life. Just be there to pick them up. I'm telling you, I missed a lot of baskets. But I got back up. I made some bad calls the 4 years now that I've been a head coach. I ain't finna quit. I'm right back in the game. Sorry, San Antonio Spurs fan. Y'all was up last night. I thought y'all just finished. But it ain't how you start, it's how you finish. So you got out to a good start, but you didn't know how to close. I'm sorry. But let me just rewind. Young people are going to make mistakes, and that it's okay for them to fail. You just got to be there to pick them back up and be the guy to tell them to put them back up on that right track and tell them to keep going. That it's okay. Because sometimes y'all bring them to us and think that we just supposed to be their hero, which we are. I'm their hero, I'm their mom. I'm all that to them. But I do allow them to fail and let them know that, baby, tough love is real love. Cause somebody that's not telling you and just blowing smoke up your behind, they don't care about you. And when I stop calling your name, you better run. That's when you gotta call mama, daddy, 911, whoever. Mary Jane, baby, I don't know. But when I stop talking to you, I'm done. I'm done. But if I can leave anything with you guys, it's hard. It get lonely sometimes at the top, right? Just like if the space shuttle going in space, every level you go, something comes off because it's a reason. Everybody can't go where you going. God will tell you that everybody on your ship ain't for you. You got to realize people come in your life for a season, for a reason. Sharing, sharing. I shirt off my back. But if you just look at yourself and say, am I doing everything that I can do to help somebody else? Because I'm good. I realized that once I got to a certain place in my life that I was good, I helped people. The young gentleman that I have, that's my godson. Just showed up on my door one day, and he ain't left since. And he know that he run the household. But I'm there. I'm whatever, and nobody better not touch him because it was a reason why I was where I was at, and he came. He don't understand. He doing more for me than I'm doing for him. As a single, no parent, no children. So he's helping me. He's keeping me. I know all the ladies dance with my team. I come in there and know the beat. I be like, you heard that song? But you have to keep it relevant. And you got to be willing to change and go outside your box and your comfort zone. Like I said, y'all have to bring me back because I can tell you some stories that I didn't went through. Like I speak Italian fluently. I was in Italy for 10 years. Y'all get an accent now. Get a country. I know how to walk in a room and demand respect as I walk. I don't put my head down no matter who's at the table. I can go back to the hood where I was growing up at and don't forget who was on that corner and who was on that corner and still shake your hand. Commit. I can just blend in, have fun wherever I go. And that's what we all got to realize that at the end of the day, we all need each other. You cannot do it alone. Somebody help me. We didn't have cell phone. I bet I knew that light come on and mom came out that door. Bridget. You better come. The world gonna keep on evolving. and it'll leave you behind. So you're gonna get on board, or you're gonna get left behind. If you can help somebody, help them. Don't talk about it. Help them. Give them a helping hand. Give them a helping hand. I came up here today with no nails on and nothing. I try to prove to people it doesn't matter what it looked like on the outside. It's what's on the inside. My smallest player is about this tall, and she is the fan favorite. Because guess what? She didn't battle all her life because she was in that side. I would go to war with her any day of the week because of her heart. Now, I ain't say nothing about no talent, ladies. Y'all listen to what Coach said. It's not about the talent. Oh, Coach can develop the best of the best. Believe that. And not just on the court, but off the court. Because when you leave my program, you're gonna be ready for the world. Oh, can I just tell my age? Y'all know I said I'm ready for the you're gonna be ready for the world. So I'm gonna get up on the panel. So if you want to ask me some questions, you can. Because the girls, you like say, "Ooh, Coach, I like that outfit." That first off, it wasn't about that. It's not about that. I shop at Goodyear. I'm not too proud. I don't make, clothes don't make me. I make clothes. You can have that Gucci that costs $1,500. I can get some from I can tell you Walmart look better than you. So it's not about that. We need to stop telling our children about that. I tell my ladies, quit buying all them Air Forces and not to go invest in them. And right here, you can go buy you a whole lot of Nike. And now you got still some more money to have. That's who I am. Because sharing is caring because somebody had to teach me because my mama didn't know. And that's what my coach did for me. Pat had something. And I don't want to talk too much about because I'll cry. Because she taught me so much. She taught me how to invest. Because my mama didn't know. My mama didn't know no bank account look like and how to, go to Charles and Schwab and invest in this and what was good. But she connected me to the right people. And she used to say, British. And I used to look at her like, yes, ma'am. Well, you looking at it, I remember that 19-inch and that 32-inch console TV, console TV, but she saw that whole 100-inch screen where I can go. And she kept pushing and pushing and pushing. So the end of the story, she kept on pushing and the pressure didn't break no pipes. It made some dimes. And I think I'm
Thank you. Thank you. Don't go anywhere. Right up here. Now, this part of the program is really, really special because we get an opportunity to not only hear more from Coach Gordon, but we have some of the national figures as far as basketball, women's basketball, girls basketball in the building. And I'm gonna open that text line. I'll bring them up. Each one of them. First, he's with All-Star Girls Report. His name is Michael T. White. Please put your hands together for one of the best girl basketball evaluators in America. Our next guest is Court. He's representing Columbus State University. He's assistant basketball coach, Coach Carl Ivy. And last but not least, from the University of Alabama, Chester Nichols. He's an assistant basketball coach. Now, I'm having the pleasure of not only in these Coach Court and Coach Nichols on my morning show, and I'll tell you something, just brilliant conversation with them. But I had an opportunity to hang out with them this morning, or at least during lunch, and I had a lot of fun getting to know these guys. But do we have some other mics? We'll get you some microphones here. But yeah, we these folks, these ordinary folks, but what a privilege it is to have this caliber of talent, this caliber of counsel, this caliber of information in our city at Girls Inc. And I'm so glad that you're here. Give yourselves a hand. A lot of times we don't know what we don't know, but guess what? Those that want to know, they find out. They get educated. And what we've done, and what Mike has done, and no approval, is that they brought in some of the top evaluators of talent some of the top people in America. And you're seeing right here on this panel. Go ahead and take a picture of that. Take a picture of that panel for me. Just take a picture of that group for me. Because I'm gonna post it. And I want the world to know that these folks came to Columbus, Georgia. You know, these nationally recognized folks are in Columbus, Georgia, speaking to our parents, our kids, our administrators, our coaches. Shame on you if you're not here. I know this summer you might be on the beach and you might be some far away place, but hey, you know what? We're streaming live on Georgia, Alabama, Sports Live right now, of course, and we welcome those folks in, that audience as well. But the first question that I had, I'll start with you, Coach Nichols. Coach Nichols, as I mentioned, is the assistant basketball coach at the University of Alabama, but he's taught, or at least he's coached in a number of universities over the past couple of decades. And you know what? He deals with these kids and these young ladies that we see on television playing in the SEC now. And of course, he's been to some other places. But Coach, what's different today with our student athletes, more importantly, our young ladies, as far as learning the game and being serious about the game than of yesteryear? That's a good question. First and foremost, these parents and you guys, the impact that you can plant that seed. I can't put a price tag on that, having a conversation, mentorship, guidance. When I think about it, I hear it all the time. Kids have changed. No, I don't think kids have changed. I think the things in their lives have changed. I think the same ingredients it took to make the cake 25, 30 years ago is the same thing right now. I hear we talk about girls' girls' club. I don't want to get too emotional. I lost my mom 2 days ago. And when I say this, to the young ladies, you only get one mama, you only get one daddy. And again, you guys keep that. Again, don't want to get too biblical, but the next is honor your mother and your father. I was raised by a pack of women, and one of the things that she left me with, and I'm gonna get back to your question. One of the things that she left would be, do what you say you're gonna do. And that's one of those principles you take for the rest of your life. Because again, I had the type of mama, she knocked your teeth out of the day and swallow. So my thing I'm telling you, like, again, keep doing what you're doing. Ladies that's playing right now, don't be a follower. Okay. Have your own mind. You might be by yourself, but don't be a follower. Right? Thank you. Michael T. White, as I mentioned, is All-Star Girls Report. He evaluates these young ladies, and a lot of these coaches pay for his services. These institutions pay for his services. And of course, he's made a name for himself. He's been with people like Adidas, the shoe manufacturer, and of course, others. But Mike, I want to ask you this question. As you were ranking and evaluating these women, of course, thank you for coming down yesterday working with Kim. You know, what's the first thing that you look for in order to, because these coaches have developed a trust into this guy, and they want his opinion on athletes before they are actually offered. So what's most important to you? I want, because you're talking to the parents, you're talking to some coaches that might not know, to some of these athletes that are in this room. Well, from a standpoint, when you're recruiting, especially to coach Eric, I always say when they get on the court, I want to look at, I want to know what you're doing and are you going, are you shooting, taking rotation. I'm looking at body language. I'm looking at how they're kind of talking to the teammates. And my trade secret, I'm looking at weight. Oh, she grew 2-3 more inches. How's her handle? How's her shot? I can pretty much kind of do a grade on that level. And then I want to see you 5 and 5. I want to see what you can do on the board. Might understand. Sorry. Might get 7 rebounds in a game. Only scored 2 points. But it was that hustle. A hustle play. Just how she believes in her point guard. Might not be the biggest, but she's got heart. It's going to be a leader. That's what coaches look for. Today's Division I, it's all
always been. You had 15 scholarships. The new rules are coming in. You have NIL, might have the 5-on-5, the shrinking rosters. But that 13, 14, 15, hey, we might not be able to give you NIL, but we'll give you a scholarship. You can earn a paycheck. You can always get that. And that's what the young ladies I saw last night. You just have to keep working. I say attack the moment. When you wake up in the morning, you attack the day. And it's every day. You create a whiteboard. This is what I have to do this week, this month, this year. And you set the path. I'm an 8th grader. This is what I want to be by I'm a senior. Get to a senior. I want to go to college. Okay. Now you might have 5 years. Okay. Another whiteboard. I've got to stay in college. Everybody's coming after my scholarship or my potential money down the road. And that's what you're gonna have to train and teach all the young middle school kids in the next probably year or two with what's going on and the chain of recruiting at the Division I and even Division II, Division III level.
Thank you, Mike. Coach Carl, at Columbus State University, I know that you got camps this week and next week, but I want you to talk to the parents out there that, whether your kid is elite or not, if they love basketball, they should they camps. Talk about tell these folks why.
I mean, honestly, camps provide a space and an opportunity to not only compare yourself to your peers, but to also just learn, develop the fellowship that is the game of basketball. So there's going to be more to the game than just the game. If you're only thinking about points, rebounds, assists, you're not really going to make it to that top level. Honestly, it's going to be more so about relationships. So these opportunities that you have now, young ladies, like to be in a room with a true champion, with a Division I coach, with a Division I prospect coach, like just these different opportunities to learn and meet these people are what you have to be able to take advantage of. And camps provide that opportunity, whether it's at a college campus. I think there are different showcase camps you can be a part of. The camps can host that from the state locally for you all are another great opportunity that you can get from the next.
Thank you, Coach Gordon. Terrific speech. Really get down as the head coach of FAMU University, and of course, people often, they look at you and they talk about your accomplishments, and again, it's phenomenal that you're here in this community. But when you go out in some other communities and you're looking for young ladies to not only play for you, but to represent FAMU, talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, I got really to it. I'm more of a character coach. I pride on my ability to develop and able to be a champion at every level that I played at. So I look for the camaraderie, the relationships, or the loose balls. Who's down the loose balls on the floor? When coach take you out, are you mad? Are you upset? Do you shake your teammates' hand? Are you cheering when they get their opportunity to go in? Power. Are you sad? Are you happy? At home with mom, are you talking back to mom? Are you in school? Are you a class clown? I look for all those things because those are intangible things that we're looking for. And I want to piggyback off what my great buddy, like here, my friend said, it's those things that we so good to go. 'Cause I look at my mom at 91 and I'm blessed to have my mom still. Like you said, you have to give them their flowers while they're here. Why do you only get one? And I do remember, like getting knocked down and have to get back up. But the parent, it's us that's changed. Your young ladies and young gentlemen, they will get in line. Like I said, my godson, he didn't come up under my parenting, but he know what to do at my house versus his house. And that's just the way that it is. It's not mean, it's not ugly, it's just discipline. And it's the way of life. And it might not feel good, and that's okay. Because like Chester said, go back this biblical. Train your child, right? Everybody know the verse, right? So that's what's important. You just have to train the child. They might not like it, but at the end of the day, while I do it, and y'all know my family loves, and I'm not talking about the money. I'm not in the peak poor. I'm not there. I make great money, yes, I do. But it's not about the money, it's giving back to the cause to help young people understand the ways of life. So be hard, be tough. Because what I learned in the end, they really want it. Deep down inside, they love that discipline because they know what discipline is. Discipline come winning. With winning come great opportunity, especially at FAMU. You got three in your hand, walking across that stage with a championship ring and a ring. Boy, we bought. That's 6 figures right there.
Great job, great job. That was round one. We're gonna ask everybody, all the panelists, guests, one more question. Coach Nichols, as one of the best recruiters in America, I'd like to ask, and I'd like for you to share with the audience, how important is social media when you're evaluating and when you're recruiting a young student athlete? How they promote themselves, what they post, how they interact among each other.
Let me just keep it real. That's the quickest way to get you off my list right there. Because again, we are investing $250 million over that 5-year period. And if that's how you're gonna represent us without giving any thought, why should we invest in you? And then we flip it with our kids, and I'm trying to make it a life lesson. Someone give you $250 million. What are you evaluating? What are you looking for? What are you looking at? And the thing is, Bridget talks about character. That reveals your character. If you're going to put some of the stuff that you put on social media, because again, we're in an age where people want likes. Who cares? I mean, half of the people that doing the likes, they care less about you. They'd rather watch you fail. When you think about social media, everybody's going to put their best foot forward anyway. Yeah, you're not going to put your trials and tribulation on social media. So again, I especially young ladies, please be mindful of what you put on social media, and not just for basketball or that scholarship. Again, that's going to be your background check. And a lot of times, they don't have to do a background check. They can go to social media, and you'll eliminate yourself.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Mike T, in your around America, in and out of these communities, if the kid acts out, and obviously in the gymnasiums that you go in to watch them as you're recruiting, and you see the parents raising hell in the stands and cursing and talking hard to the coach, what kind of impact does that have on your grading process as far as evaluating a kid?
Well, first of all, I had some parents at my events. I kind of shrug it off a little bit. I was an athlete myself, so I could get a little riled up a little bit. That's gonna happen. You love your kid, you're gonna go 100%. Sorry, that's how it is. I kind of look at the kid, I don't judge the parent, I'm judging the kid. Now, does the parent come with the kid when they have to go to college? That's not my decision. That's gonna be her decision. But I don't really penalize kids. They know I've worked with them. I've worked with a lot of kids. I was talking the first real scouting service to go in the inner city. And when I say inner city, we're talking Compton, we're talking Cabrini Green, we're talking New York City. Those whole schools, I put those next round of those girls on the map. And so I say as parents, go support the kid, cheer them on. If there's any issues, I always say they know I've had issues with the AAU coaches with the parents. I usually say, coach, let's do this. Let's go in the gym. Let's go out that door. We'll talk outside. Let's keep it quiet. That's between us. Let's don't embarrass the kid. So I say that's a big proponent. And, the next several years with the kids, be there to support something, you have an issue, you go out like grown-ups and you talk outside, or private. So that's how I handle things. But not everybody's gonna do it. So.
Thank you so very much. I want the final question for Coach Ivey. Coach, you're a young coach, but and of course, as it pertains to the panel on stage, how important is it for you in your network to surround yourselves and for uh, forums and panels like this for young coaches to be a part of it, to want to grow and learn, especially those that say they want to, those that say they want to be successful, and those that say they want to go to the next level?
I would say for myself, it really started with my playing days. So my story at Columbia State, I was a walk on. I'm that 13, 14 roster spot guy, not really truly bought into everything going on, not really truly accepted by everybody on the team. But ultimately, by my senior year, I was able to break the line up, and now I'm hitting big time shots. I'm the one that's been celebrated. I'm the one on the news. I get the post game interview. And so from that, I really was able to just take the saying from Robert Moore. You gotta love the grind. Like building your network, that is the grind. Pursuing a better version of yourself every day, that is the grind. And so ultimately, so just like I said to my earlier question, like these relationships, this opportunity to connect with Bridget and Coach Chester and Coach Mike, I may be on the men's side, but this network is still going to benefit me in some way, whether it's the game of basketball, whether it's sister, brotherhood, it doesn't matter. It's up to me what I make out of it, and ultimately just making sure I can take the maximum advantage I can at this moment.
Thank you very much. Give them a nice round of applause. My final question, Mike, come on out, Mike, because these are your friends. These are your associates. This is your network. And for those of you who don't know Mike Woods has been around, and I've been knowing him since the very beginning when he first started doing his thing. But everybody doesn't play with a full deck. Everybody doesn't have all the resources that they need to have. But one thing that you can control is how you treat and meet other people. Mike might not have had the best facilities or the best talent, but he has enough wherewithal to introduce himself to people like this and form a network and talk them into coming to our hometown of Columbus, Georgia. Mike, just talk to us just a few minutes about how important it is and what was your mindset as you developed your relationship. You know, you didn't have the big flashy gyms, you didn't have the weight rooms, you didn't have the budgets, you didn't have the money to pay all these fees to go to camps, but you kept enduring. You stayed at it, and you made some wonderful friends. And of course, you're still in these young student athletes today.
Okay, I first want to say this, I was a pretty good athlete. I was a 4-year starter in high school. I was the best middle school basketball player coming out. So I want to get that straight because I know the girls back there going, they're holding too. I just had to say that. I don't supposed to brag on myself, but I played basketball. Guys, this is 20 something years of relationship. This guy, like you said, his mom passed 2 days ago. And Richie called me because they've been friends longer than I. And she was worried about whether or not he was gonna make it. And I said, well, I just talked to him yesterday. His mom, man, because I saw him on social media. And he didn't say anything about it. I said, Bridget, I'll call him. I'll call him to check on him, just to tell him I love him. Because when my mom passed away some years back, he was the first guy that called him, the coach that we were connected with, and let him know that my mom had passed away. When my dad passed away some months ago, he was the same person that did that same thing. And when I called him to say, man, it's okay, you ain't gotta come this way. He said, I'm halfway there. I said, listen, my mama wouldn't allow me. He said his mama wouldn't have allowed him and we come from the same, Ocala. We had a great day today. But just to answer DJ's question, man, I give all praise to God for all the things that he allowed me to do. Hey, my business, I keep saying, y'all, if it wasn't for that guy, and they kicked me out and say you ain't gonna practice nowhere but gym, that guy right there, gave me a place to practice, and all he wanted was a piece of paper for my kids. This lady right here, Miss Val Bars, she was in there working the girls in, and sometimes in practice, she would come in and give them these Six Flags tickets, and she can tell them, man, look, we want to practice. She over there got those African class and talk some Six Flags. They want to get mad at me and ask about Six Flags. These are people that played a major role in what I do. Mike White, I've been doing for a long time. And y'all, just when I called them and asked, I couldn't afford them. I can't afford for the time that it's taken away from Bridges. We sit in the downtown keeping that, and Bridges and Mike, Bridges still need a post player. She need to be somewhere recruiting another post player. He missed out on one coming in, but they talk post player. So DJ, and I, you know me, I'm so proud of this. My two stand up. I know y'all want to hear. Look at they shaking their head, y'all. Stand up, them two that back there. Everybody's saying, those are my two oldest. My two oldest. The shortest one is the head coach at Northside High School. She played at FAMU. And she's one of those kids that went through what Bridget talked about. Being small, nobody did her change. And she proved the point that she was gonna go and play college basketball. She played 2 years at FAMU. Oh, jeez. Don't wrap up with that. They better say something. Look at that. My oldest son, Michael Lewis Jr., he's her assistant coach. He's teaching. My daughter, Sierra Wood, she's not here. She's in the education. She's teaching. She walked across the stage, 8.5 months pregnant, and earned a master's degree from the University of the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia Bulldogs. I like it. That's, but hey, that's how proud I am of her. And then my baby boy, Kimmy Woods, he's amazing, and all these kids have done amazing jobs. All of them, they working on their special degrees, and they're doing great. So TJ, man, I'm so proud and thankful for the opportunity. Like today, I know you was lit up with comments from people. You talking about a white guy. You had a story that White told us today about the gunshots in the places that he went. They go recruit kids to start his program now. But again, man, people that it was not even a question. They came because we needed it here in Columbus, Georgia. And I hope that when we got a few minutes, I want you guys to ask questions. I want you guys, y'all athletes, y'all parents, who have all the questions in the world. Don't allow these the people, Columbus, Georgia, and y'all not ask questions because you are being led by some of the untruthful stuff that's going on in this city. And I'm just being real with you.
Keep it real.
Get it straight. Hear it from these coaches. Ask the tough questions. And they're here to answer them questions. So again, we're gonna give it a DJ to turn it over. I'll let you do whatever you gotta do that. I hope I did what I needed.
You did exactly what you wanted to do. Matter of fact, you did the opening and the closing, and you told them your story. But I want to give everybody 30 seconds or less to share, if you want, how these folks can reach out to you on social media, or if you got a phone number, email address, however you want to be contacted or can be contacted.
Yes, you can follow me on my website, asgrbasketball.com. I'm on social. I use X and IG. I only respond on IG with direct message. You don't want to get hacked on X, okay? They'll take your account away. But anyway, feel free, ASGR Basketball. That's X, that's IG. I'll probably be following some of these players, put something out. Mike Woods can always reach me 24/7. He has my private cell number. If he always asks to promote a kid, do anything. My previous partners for 25 years, they used to attend his events and coverage. This is my first time. My background is more entrepreneur, product brand, building relationships, shoe companies. Y'all been to these new convention centers with all the courts? I was the first one to start that. Don't tell everybody copied what I do. So any questions, feel free. ASGR Basketball.
Very simple. For myself, I use Twitter a ton. It's at Carl Ivy, KARLIVEY. Other than that, if you need the number, please reach out to Coach Mike Woods, and we can definitely connect further.
I give out my number because I'm here to help. That's what I'm supposed to do my job. My number is 850 Ladies, I hope y'all write it down. 850-567-59. Zero, 567. Eight five zero 567-5913. And I'm on all social media. For us older heads, we like Facebook. That's right. Richard Gordon, BRIDGETTE Gordon, GORDON. And for you newbies, I'm on X and I'm on IG and I am Coach_Big Pressure. All right. Coach_Big Pressure. You remember the things, pressure make diamonds, so don't lose class. All right.
I'll take a step further. So Mike, thank you. You guys hear me? Hey, I'll give my cell number as well. It's area code 618-203-0625. And I'll even take it a step further, ladies, any parents, what's that? Oh, I'm sorry, area code 618-203-0625. I'll extend this with the young ladies and the parents. Anytime you guys are in Tuscaloosa, you guys want to come watch a women's basketball game, give me $48 in advance. We'll make sure we got your tickets. Let me make sure I don't have any confusion. Not football. Not football. I can get you women's basketball. But as far as social media, it's Chester Nichols on my Facebook. IG Coach Nichols 1. And again, that's Coach NICHOLS #1. That's my IG, and then X is Chester_Nichols. We got a question? Yeah, we got a question right here.
As a parent of 4 athletes, I am just wondering, what is the best way to prepare them for, I have a upcoming 11th grader, she plays varsity. So I'm wondering, what is the best way to prepare her for recruitment and film?
That's a great question. I hope you're in the area and the young lady, your daughter plays with the AAU team. Or if not, with a high school team, because that is something that is so important that they should be speaking to her about. And those are the conversations that I had. Now, we just had a period that the rules and regulations, because there is a separation between NCAA, junior college, high school, middle school, parents, and these events. We'll have a session where all the participants have to go in and understand and learn the NCAA rules, and he will have a spokesperson come in and speak about that. The game is going away. It's all about money making. So just like you can be scam, I call it scam, scheme was gone. You gotta be careful, right? As a parent, that's why I told you when I stood up, when I call a young so you can be a part of that improvement also. So if coaches is not doing that, you probably need to hang up the phone. Because we're supposed to weigh out my word is my bond. And I also tell them I'm taking it a bit further. I recruit you, you don't come to me, guess what, baby? You still have a relationship with me because we done made conversation. I'm not just gonna let that relationship pass. I'm not gonna break any rule, but I'm still gonna be there for you if you ever need me within the rules. But you need to make sure, and I'm here, Chester's here, and we'll love to help you out with that. If you need that.
I hear the stress in your voice, Mama. I hear it. And here's what I'll tell you, right? This is for all the parents, the players as well. I think you asked process-based questions. There's a book, it's called The Little Book of Talent. Daniel Coyle. I strongly urge you guys to get that. It's a book $9.99, but I think it's worth every penny of it. I've probably read it up until 100 times. They ask 3 questions in that book, and these 3 questions you need to ask every day. The first question, what am I doing well? I'm not talking about basketball. It can be life, it can be school. First question you need to ask yourself, what are you doing well? Because sometimes we focus so much on the negative, we can't even see what we are doing well. And hear me good. 'Cause I get yeah. So what do I need to work on and fix? How are we going? That process needs to go because now they don't feel like they're getting that pressure. They come, well, what did you do well? Again, what do you need to work on? And then how am I going to fix it?
Yeah, Elliot Patrick, fan, you call Eli Patrick. But this question is also for the parents, and it's related, and this is for the two college coaches. How can parents get their daughters recognized by coaches? Is it performing, for their team in the tournament? Or what is the best way for them to get their daughters identified?
You have to invest in yourself first of all. So the parents got to invest in their own children. Sometimes you feel like you watching yourself. Because I can take this question a little bit further. It's an unfair advantage. It's similar to what the W and the NBA. All my friends, we can go jump in the portal year after year and go play for another school. But really, where you get your degree from, because that's what matters most. So you have to educate and invest in yourself first of all. And then you need to get on not just an AAU team, because we were talking about back in the day. And ladies, it's back in the day, I'm 59. Back then, we're talking 20, 30 years ago. We had to make the team. My mom, first of all, couldn't afford to pay for me to be on the team. So you had to make the AAU team. So now you got AAU everywhere, right? So you have to do your work and invest in your daughter or your sons and make sure you're putting them in the right product, in the right team, with the right coach to have their best interest at heart. And once again, the key word, what we said, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I tell my when I'm going to break that college door, when I'm going to break that college door, I'm gonna let you ain't going to see no dome, you coming to see the gym. So get your word out. You have to invest in your own self first. And that's how I'm saying. I know Chester can elaborate, we all can, but I'm just saying you have to invest in you. You have to invest in you, and you have to invest in him because I'm telling you, the game. I'm a pioneer. I don't know if you have passion. I talk about it because I used to run some miles in the rain as a trailblazer in the foundation, and I'm so happy for the CDA. They say the W, because all that does is trickle down. Now, there is money to be made in America. Your daughters don't have to take that sacrifice and go thousands and thousands of miles away like I had to do.
Amen.
So take a platform that they're on. They call investing in yourself.
And just to piggyback on what she just said right here. The other thing I want you to leave with, fit really matters. Fit really matters. And sometimes we get so consumed on the logo or on the front of our shirt. Nobody in here has heard of Greenville College, right? Nobody has. I'm confused. Anybody heard of Greenville College? Greenville, Illinois? Well, we got one. But my point, my point is I graduated from Greenville College. Nobody knows where it's at. But I think I made a pretty good career. And my thing is, there's countless stories of people in the NBA, NFL, WNBA. They didn't play at the quote unquote blue bloods, but they took advantage of it and made the most of the opportunity. When I say fit matters, find out style of play, what type of coach you want to play for. I can go down the laundry list of them, but it has to fit. If it doesn't fit, you can be the right place in the wrong situation. Okay, you can be the right kid in the wrong situation, or vice versa. So just keep mindful. Fit matters.
Okay, I got coaches, and being a former athlete, I think this should be addressed because I would like to go personally because I played it years ago, Bridget. I think DJ, we might have did the color guard when Bridget was coming through. If she was looking.
No, she when we called the game, the SEC No. tournament came to Columbus in 1997. Loretta and I did the broadcast, and we talked about that earlier.
Okay. Well, listen, I mean, I'm asking this for, I guess, I would speak on behalf of all the parents out there that are female. How bad has the NIL hurt the recruitment of athletes and the commitment when you recruited these athletes for 4 years and they get to the university and they get an attitude like you said, Bridget, they want to jump ship to the next coach that says, oh, I'm gonna play, you're gonna start, and we're gonna pay the X amount of dollars. How bad has that hurt the college industry for female basketball and basketball in general?
I'm gonna let Chester speak on it first because he's at the Power Four and that NIL, and I would be educated to know what the difference in the NIL. And then that's when you're talking about the social media part, because that's when your name, image, and likeness. And I'm gonna get upset because Tennessee owes me some money too.
Okay.
I'm gonna let Coach speak on it because the NIL new share that the schools now can pay out.
So within that, there's layers to it. In those layers, first of all, there's a difference between NIL and collective slash revenue. 85% of those the NIL like you think you read. So let's just understand that first and foremost. I don't want to get too technical, but here's the deal. There's a difference between getting paid and being bought. When you are performing, you are getting paid. That's the Caitlin Clarks, that's the Juju Watkins, that's the true NIL. And then you got the other. Okay, I don't know if I'm answering your question about because we talk about this and being a right kid in the wrong situation. We're not putting that stuff in the contract, and then you got these kids leaving because every state has their own rules. This is not governed by the NCAA. So there's so many layers to that because then now you start talking about taxing kids. You're almost like the collective bargaining. Correct me if I'm wrong on how they did that. When I say there's layers to that, there's layers that I'm 28 years in the business. I don't understand. So I'm gonna keep it real. But here's the deal: as your ladies, if you don't perform, and when I say perform, pass, dribble, shoot, make a play. Okay, if you are not a student of the game, and Mike White is evaluating you, we're not just watching you with the ball, we're watching you without the ball. You understand what I mean? Coach, I don't know if I answered your question because this thing, I was at the mid-major for 7 years. I come back to the Power 5. I feel like I'm in my first year coaching. Last 2 questions.
What do coaches look for at any time, and how can we stand out?
Should let them answer that, but I'll take that question. As I was explaining to the young ladies last night, when you go to these camps, you things. 2 things. You will always have a job. Middle school basketball, AAU basketball, high school, and if you're lucky enough to get NIL in the future, lucky to even just get a scholarship. And I tell people, the scholarship is worth it. If you don't get any money, you're still getting dorm, you're getting food, you're getting an education that can cost $200,000. That will lead to possibly a 40-year career degree in earnings. But if you can dribble the basketball, you will play. If you can make a layup, if you can attack the rim, if you will play D, if you develop your jump shot. And I talked to them today, lunch, last night, skill set, it's ever evolved. Are there 4,440 trainers today? Yes. Coaches don't teach the game. You have to play live basketball. I don't care if it's here in the gym, if it's in the park, if it's at your high school, if it's your AAU team loading up and going to play down the street. You have to play against live competition. You can't get that, you do a little bit of 3-on-3. 3-on-3 sharpens your skill set. That's where you learn small things. PNR, pick and roll. That is a big thing now. Bridget will, back in the day, they didn't want a PNR. You know, that was all the guys, that was NBA. Well, guess what? That's all the WNBA, pick and roll. Can you shoot the basketball? If you're open, you take the shot. It's the same thing in college. Alabama is not going to recruit you if you can't shoot the basketball. The coaches on that staff, one of them worked for me, got her into business. I know what she looks for. Same thing with Chester. He's going to look for that hard-nosed, tough player that's going to do the small things. But after practice, are you going to get in the gym and do the small ones? This is a true story. This goes back to when Kobe Bryant got drafted. I worked for Adidas. This was before NBA Summer League. They used to bring in 3 or 4 teams. This was Minnesota Timberwolves. Brought in 4 teams. I had to go, flew into Chicago, rented a car. My boss said, okay, you got to go watch, be there for Kobe for the 2 days. I said, okay. He shot 2 for 36.
Mm.
I was like, oh, okay. Gonna go back to the hotel room, watch tomorrow. Minnesota Timberwolves just built this amazing arena, had this gym, never seen anything like it, had a health club, had this gym. I'm walking out, Kobe's walking out. Hey, Mike, can you come into the gym? I want to put up a couple of shots before I go back to the hotel. 14 hours later, I left that gym with them. True story. That's dedication. He said, I am going to be great. I am taking 1,500 to 2,000 shots. And that was mates, by the way. That wasn't misses. It was mates. That's why we were there 14 hours. So that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to put in the time. They have to put in the time. It's not what they do on their time. It's what they do on their time. Juju Watkins, I live out part-time in LA. I watched her train with LeBron James. I saw her change her body. It's what you eat. It's how you work out. I mean, I read bodies. Okay. Me and Bridget talk about this. There's certain things I can read a body and I can say, okay, she can do this. Oh, I don't worry about, what size you are, how big. Okay. We can change all that up. They got nutrition now. They got sports training. Everything can be developed. Everything. Mind, mental health, your body, sleep. Sleep is the most important thing. Middle school kids, I always played them at 8 a.m. in the morning because I knew they'd go to bed early at the tournament. And Bridget will tell you, Chester, I'd have 80, 100 coaches watching 7th, 8th graders at 8 a.m. in the morning. And then why do you play the young kids so early? I go, because you know what? I'm keeping the older kids late because they're playing the last session of the game. These coaches are going to stay here all day. And they do. I keep them in the gym 18 hours. But that's how you find talent. Mike Woods, he sought me out. He said, hey, I got this program, out here in Columbus. I used to sponsor one of the big gentlemen back in the day. I mean, God bless her soul, Tasha Butts came through my events, put it on the map, played in my All-American game with Diana Taurasi, Amanda Beard, Ashley Robinson. You think those kids, they worked hard. And you know what? They didn't go to 50,000 AAU tournaments. They played in 4 or 5 tournaments, if that. They did camps when camps meant something. Today, it has become private equity. We're going to a lot of these events. So you have to pick the right camps to go to. I know people say, oh, I don't want to go to Division I camp. You know what? You go to those camps to learn.
Mhm.
Norman told me once, Mike, You've already put 10,000 hours in this. This is why I can respect you. If your kids are in middle school, by the time they get to a seat, they'll have 10,000 hours. If they're not playing at some kind of college level, that's because they didn't put 10,000 hours of work in. And it's not that hard. You just, like I said, create the whiteboard and everything will be successful.
Thank you so much.
One question, the last question, real quick, one thing. I'll-
Scott, something get out of here.
Yeah. How does the transfer portal impact, how does the transfer portal impacts the high school?
Yeah, I'll definitely start. So obviously there's a new slate of NCAA legislation coming out with, some different rules and regulations, hopefully to handle NIL as well as eligibility. But what I would say is for myself at the Division II level, we still recruit nicely. And so I would say it hasn't impacted myself or Division II programs, which could be a ton of your private schools, truly quality education opportunities. But definitely for these coaches over here, it changed their results.
Big progress. Yes, there, a little bit more with me. I still do, high school freshman. I'm on full last year. I signed a tuition. Yeah, just because I have the ability to see that I see the potential that I can go. Where, I might not have that first year to pay bills, so I was consistent. And invest in them, great to get that great vehicle, but it still does trigger. Also, the science, it's out. And because you need that experience, and have a whole team full of fresh with expectations, but we'll see that table right now. They won't be the lead, and it needs to be down and not fail. So you have to still have a mix